Hi everyone, Sumit Chandra this side, and I welcome you to our channel Solution Bridge Network and one-stop solution for all your Power Platform tutorials. In today's video, we are going to talk about one of the most powerful features in Power BI, incremental refresh. If you are dealing with large datasets and slow refresh times, this is a must-know feature. I will explain how it works, walk you through step-by-step setup, and show you how to avoid common mistakes. So let's get started. First, we need to understand what is incremental refresh. Normally, Power BI refreshes all the data every time. That's fine for small datasets. But with millions of rows, it becomes slow and insufficient. Incremental refresh fixes this by only refreshing new or changed data while keeping the rest of the data static. This means faster refreshes, less load on your source system, and better performance in Power BI service. Before we jump into the demo, here is what you need for incremental refresh to work. A date or date time column in your table. This is used for partitioning. Your data source must support query folding. You need to create two parameters in Power BI Desktop, range start, range end, and finally publish the dataset to a Power BI Pro or Premium workspace. Now I will show you the demo how to set up Power Query and set filter with parameters. So now I am in my Power BI desktop and let me click on transform data. First, we need to create two parameters. So let me create the parameters one by one. For creating parameters, we need to click on manage parameters and new parameter. Here we need to type the parameter name that will be range start. Remember that this is case sensitive. In type, we will select the data type, date time. Suggested values, we will select any value. And in current value, for now, let me put 1, 1, 2, 0, 2, 0. So we'll keep the data from 2020 to end of 2025 and we will refresh last 30 days data. So now I created my first parameter. Let me click on OK. Similarly, we need to create another parameter. For the same, I need to click on manage parameter, new parameter. In parameter name, we will put range end. In type, we will select date time, any value, and here we will put 31st December 2025. So we'll keep 5 years of data, but we will refresh last 30 days data only. Let me click on OK again. Now that we have defined the range start and range end parameters, now we will filter the data to be loaded into the model based on these parameters. So this is our fact table sales record, and in sales record here we have the order date. So here we need to apply that filter. For that, choose the drop down arrow, then here click on date time filters and let me click custom filter. In custom filter, we will select keep rows where order date is after or equal to, and here you need to select parameter, and in this drop down you will get your two parameter. So at first we will select range start. We will pass a AND condition and here we will select is before. Again, we need to select parameter, and here we need to select range and let me click on OK. So you can see we already applied the filter in order date column. We talked about query folding as well. To check that your data supports query folding or not, you just need to right click, and here you can see view native query option is enabled. So at your last step as well, it should be enabled. So here you can see it's enabled, and you can see it's loaded the native query. Now we need to just close and apply this. Power Query loads only data specified between the range start and range and parameters. Depending on the amount of data in that period, the table should load quickly. So you can see our data is loading now. Now our data has been loaded successfully. So now we will define the incremental refresh policy. For the same, you can click on this triple dot of the fact table, and we can click on incremental refresh. We need to enable this incremental refresh for this table, and here we need to define the policy. Archive data starting. So we will store historical data for last 5 years. So let me put 5, and from select value we will select years. So depending on your need, you can define this, and incrementally refresh data starting. So we will refresh last 30 days data. So here I put 30, and from this drop down I will select days. Once I select this, you can see here you will get it that data imported from 112020 to this date, and it will refresh last 30 days data. So today is 9th of August. So it will refresh the data from 11th July to 9th August. And at bottom, it will show you the policy. You can review, then you can apply it. Apart from this, we have some optional settings. This policy is applied only after the model is published to the service and a manual or scheduled refresh operation is performed. In choose optional settings, we have an option for get the latest data in the real time with direct query, premium only, to include the latest data changes that occurred at the data source after the last refresh period. This setting causes the incremental refresh policy to add a direct query partition to the table. Select only refresh complete days to refresh only whole days. If the refresh operation detects a day is not complete, rows for that whole day are not refreshed. This option is automatically enabled when you select get the latest data in real time with direct query, premium only. Select detect data changes to specify a date time column used to identify and refresh only the days where the data has changed. A date time column must exist, usually for auditing purposes, at the data source. This column should not be same column used to partition the data with the range start and range end parameter. Now let me apply this. We need to save this, and we will publish this into our service. So we need to click on publish. We need to select the workspace where we wanted to publish it. We need to select the folder, then we need to just select and publish it. Let me go to service. When you refresh the model for the first time in the Power BI service, the entire dataset is loaded. This includes both historical data for the full storage period and any new or updated data within the refresh period. Depending on the volume of data, the initial refresh can take a significant amount of time. However, subsequent refreshes, whether scheduled or manual, are usually much faster, as only the data within the defined refresh period is processed thanks to the incremental refresh policy. You need to remember that after publishing a semantic model with incremental refresh, you cannot download the PBIX file from the Power BI service. This is because the model is modified in the service to support partitioning. Keep a copy of the original PBIX locally, that is very important. You can also use source control, that is Git, or OneDrive, SharePoint to manage your files. Let me show you the refresh time. Though I don't have huge amount of data, but if I come to refresh history, here you can see my first refresh takes around 40 seconds and my subsequent refresh is taking around 20 seconds. So it will be very helpful where you need to process large amounts of data. That's it for this video on setting up incremental refresh in Power BI. Hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, post it in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, hit the like button and press the bell icon for the new video alerts.